G'day and welcome back. My name is DK from DK Plays. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, no matter where you are in the world. We left off yesterday after getting in, finding the stronghold, getting in, and we are now digging for some end stones so that we can walk our way out to the end cities. And we're just gonna run one more run down here, and then back to place some blocks again. We used all the blocks that we took from the overworld with us. We've already stuck them down. Once we get, it could take 1,000 blocks, it could take 1,500 blocks to find another island out, and we may have picked a side that doesn't have any islands, but we can get to the islands from here. We have not killed the dragon, as you can see from the top of the screen that the Ender Dragon is still alive, still at full health. We haven't bothered. You can probably hear her in the background screeching and flapping her wings. And you'll hear her roar in a few minutes because she wants to get at us, but she can't. And once we get out on the platform and make a run down the walkway, there she is. She can't get in here to get us. She won't leave this island because it's just further out, so once we get out a certain distance, that bar will go off the top of the screen because we'll have lost the dragon. We will be absolutely laughing. Now, we may go out 1,500 blocks in one direction, and then we may not find any islands out in that direction. We may have to come back and go in the opposite direction, and if we don't find any in that, then we'll have to go one of the side directions. But can be done. It's just a matter of time and placing blocks and being distance. Now it can be done because I took 2 shulkers in season 2 from an end city and took them back to the overworld in one of the episodes because I was going to build a shulker farm, and then after I got them all the way back there, it didn't work because it only works on Java. Because I didn't know that at the time. I probably should have paid a bit more attention to the tutorial. Built the whole farm. Everything was perfect except the shulkers wouldn't split. They just kept dying. So that project didn't work. However, I did manage to get shulkers from the end cities back to the end island. This is the side of the island that we didn't go out on. We went out on the other side of the island. So we shall continue going on that side for now. I think we have enough blocks. We should have more than enough blocks now to find an end city. Or at least to find more islands. So now the dragon is gone now. We've left her behind. All we're doing is we're placing blocks down. We want to stay up relatively high. We don't want to go down to the 0 level or the Y1 because it just means we've got to climb back up again. And coming up to 400 blocks out from that platform, or from sorry, from the platform that the dragon sits on. These are all the blocks that I brought with me from the overworld, where now we've had to go back and dig up some more blocks. And the Enderman won't bother you if you don't look at him, so head down and just go. Here we go. I could double, triple, or quadruple the amount of blocks that I've got by making slabs out of them, but I can't be bothered. Placing slabs is quite annoying. Replacing blocks is quite easy, as you can see. So we just got to keep going. We're at 600 now in the X direction. We're still at 0 in the Z direction. And we're up 50 in the Y direction. And we just keep going, keep placing the blocks out. We'll reassess at the end of each stack. We just have a stop and do a 360 look around, see if we can see any islands. And then as soon as we find an island, then we'll set up a little ender. Just a simple one. Look at some endermen, kill them, get their pearls, and that'll just help us navigate across the islands. Some islands are easy to navigate. It's just end a pearl across rather than block across. Round, and no, there's still no sign of land. But we're only at 700. Usually about 1,000 blocks out, we'll start to see islands. But it may be a case of one of the sides or one of the cardinal directions doesn't have end islands on it. So we may just be unlucky that we've picked that side. But it's not that big a deal. We've got all the time in the world. We can run back. We can dig more blocks out of that island. As long as we only dig it too high, then the Enderman won't bother us. And as you can see, we were underneath the dragon and the dragon couldn't get at us. So we can mine that whole thing out. And still a no sign of it. But we're only 760 blocks out. Just gonna keep going. As I probably said now about 5 times, it's usually between 1,000 and 1,500 blocks out. Which is where slabs would be more beneficial because you get more slabs out of your blocks. But placing slabs is a pain in the nuts. So with this I can do it one-handed. So see here, I'm just holding backwards and the trigger to place the block, so I don't even have to think about it. On the Xbox you just press down on one of the joysticks and that puts you into shift mode, and unless you press it again it won't come back out of shift mode, so there's no fear of falling off. So we're at 822 and still not so. And now it's just a matter of time. If it's not out this direction, it'll be out one of the other directions. And that's fine by me because we're at the point now where it's inevitable that we will get our job done. $800. Right, we have islands. See? Now, so we're 880 blocks out, and we're starting to see end islands, which is a fantastic. So we'll go one more block, and then one more stack of blocks, and then we'll turn to our left and go to that big island. And then from there, as I said, we can set up a little simple little ender where we can get them but they can't get us, and then we can grab some ender pearls, which will help us on our journey. We're still a little ways off this island, so we might go another stack out, which, by the way, will bring us out to nearly exactly 1,000 blocks. We're at 970 about, and we're at 970 now, so we're coming up to the 1,000. $990. $1,000. So we're just about, and you can see if we keep going, we'll end up on that block, on that island over there, which may actually end up being a better proposition. We just keep going and get to that island, because otherwise we're just going to have to bunny hop across. So I think we'll just keep going in a straight line. We will eventually hit that island, and then we are laughing. So you just got to have faith that you will find, just a matter of, do you have enough blocks to get your way out there. And as you can see, we had to go back and mine more blocks in order to keep going. Didn't bring enough from the overworld. Close we are to that now. Yeah, we probably get there on another stack, maybe another stack and a half. We get there. And we may have to mine some more in order to get from island to island till we find ourselves a end city with a boat. Now, another thing mentioned in the last episode, that every seed that I've ever played on the Xbox, or even on the Xbox 360, has the stronghold underneath the village, and if you, when you throw your pearl and it ends up just going straight down, just go to the bell and dig directly below the bell. Now if the bell is on a well, go to one side of the well and just dig down. You will find the fortress, or the stronghold, by doing that. every single seed that I've ever played on the Xbox or the Xbox 360, or the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, has been like that. At least for me. I can't say 100% that it's every single seed because I've never played every single seed. But every seed that I have played has had the stronghold underneath the bell. You may not find the portal room underneath the bell, but you'll definitely go into the stronghold. And then if you block up the doorways that you go through, so if you go through a doorway and it leads to a dead end, make your way back and then block the doorway off so that you know you've been down there and there's no point in going back down there again. It looks like we were about to bypass that completely, so. And I see it. I see an end city there. Don't think it's got a boat, but for now, 2, 3. We get the center. Sword, and check out a couple of these Endermen. It's also a good way of repairing tools. And we know that Endermen give out quite a bit of XP, so we can repair things quite quickly. Where you going? You, where are you going? We're up to 10 ender pearls. So, that's where we came from. Big long road. But But of course we don't need to find our way back because we're going to put everything in the ender chest and jump off into the void and get back to the overworld so that we can finish the series. They seem to have calmed down, so we can go and see if this end city has a ship, and it does not. Now, that's not the end of the world, right? Because I'm going to give you a little tip. Another little tip. Whenever you find an end city, right? It's a little bit easier to work out when you have an end city that has a boat, right? But from the end city, if you go straight in that direction, or straight in that direction, or straight in that direction, or straight in that direction, you will find another end city. Pretty much in a straight line. They pretty much form a straight line. And oh, I don't know whether we can make that with an ender pearl. Is it worth taking a chance? Is it worth taking a chance? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so let's pop over here, see roughly where we are in relation to that. So if we... Oh, don't you start me. Oh, he's gonna kill me. Oh, I was so lucky to get out of that. I don't remember looking at him, but however, let's just sit here for a minute while our hearts regen. Take our way back up. When we do want to get out of here. Maybe go back one more. On the safe side. Usually you can hear when they calm down. So if we take this as being right in line with that, I know it's a couple of blocks this way. We need to actually mine some more blocks. What we're going to do is we're going to go off in a straight line from the center, roughly the center of that end city. I don't need shulker boxes, so just want the elytra. And as I said, once we get it, we put it in our ender chest, we put all our goodies in the ender chest, and we jump off into the void. And when we get back to the overworld and we put the elytra on, that will be pretty much the end of this series. Now, what we could do is we could go back if we wanted. We could go back. We could get the sugarcane that we've got. We could get some gunpowder. We could make some rockets, and we could come back and we could kill the dragon using the elytra, because we'd be able to fly around and break the end crystals fairly easy, and we should be able to stay ahead of the dragon, at least out of our way. Because the hardest part of killing the dragon is getting the end crystals. Getting up and getting the end crystals broken so that she can't regen. And then, you know, obviously avoiding the dragon's breath while you wait for her to sit down on the perch so that you can attack her from underneath. I don't know whether it's in the programming for the Enderman or not, but they do tend to get into your line of sight if you're looking up or looking straight ahead at eye level. They will come and stand in front of you so that they kind of force you to look at them. But we were so lucky that we didn't die. Because I have no idea where I set my spawn the last time. I think it might have been in that village. But I can't be 100% sure. I'll get rid of those because the last thing I want to do is accidentally place sand and end up diving into the void because I placed sand instead of a block. I'm going to make just a little adjustment to something. We stand here, down a bit. So I'm just going to make a quick little adjustment. I'm going to pull me over here so you can see the coordinates. Back in place. So we're at minus 230, let's say, right? There's 30. Just go out on this 230 line. Again, we're just going to place blocks till we get over the void. There's not a lot else we can do. We could end a peril, but the distance is far too great for us to be able to end a peril in one go. So, if it was a short distance, then we would end a peril, like we did the last time. Now, I believe, I haven't tested it, but I believe that if you throw an ender pearl into the void, you just don't teleport. Maybe we'll test that before we actually jump into the void. Just threw that sand into the void because I obviously picked it back up again. So what I was saying about the end cities all being in a line, right? It's more evident when you've got a ship because you follow the way the ship would be flying, and you'll come to the next one pretty much dead ahead. It may be a couple of blocks off to one side or the other. Of dead center, but it's usually pretty damn close. Now occasionally you'll have other end cities that are slightly off from that, but they'll be in line with something else. So you might have two end cities that are very close to each other, It means that one is coming off the axis one way and one is coming off the axis the other way, and that's once you find your first one, very easy then to find subsequent ones after that. So you just gotta, well, I don't know whether it's the same on Java or not, I don't know, but it definitely on the Xbox. They're in a straight line, pretty much. We'll say plus or 5, 10 blocks. Plus or minus 10 blocks from dead center. Now, we may end up having to run back and dig more blocks up. Mine more blocks. And I don't know whether you can hear. I actually put the air conditioner on because it's very hot in this little room. I'm hoping it's not going to come through because I have a noise gate on the microphone and it is quite low noise, but if there's a bit of a windy sound, that's what it is. Okay. Well, I guess the worst comes to worst, we can get over to one of these and out. We're gonna have to do a bit of mining to get through this little box here. Right. Be true this. Continue on. And there's the end city. See, it's nearly directly in line, and it's got the ship as well. So out to complete our mission, but I don't think we have enough blocks to actually do that right now. I guess we get as close as we can, and then we can end a parallel cross. It's not like we're going to come back along this track anyway, so. Okay, we are officially out of blocks. And we yes, we can. Okay. Now we just need blocks so that we can climb up to the boat or the ship. This is where it gets tricky because I need to look up, see where I'm at. This way. Of course it is. We'll just stack jump here and then we'll adjust as when we get up. So. About a second. Hey, we're not that far off. What we don't want to be is right at the very back of the ship. Because there's two shulkers that sit at the back of the ship. Dash across there. So the first thing we want to do, if you're going to get shulkers, is take out these couple of blocks here, and then you can shoot this guy. That's one easy one, and you can this guy teleported away, and then there's a guy in here. He was too easy to beat. We got our elytra. We got him here. Iron gold. Iron gold. Right. So put the elytra in there and the shulker shell. Don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. I do want to show you one little thing though before we head back to the overworld that involves shulkers, and it may just help you a little bit. Well, we'll use the iron sword because it doesn't matter if we right? Dead in there. There. We'll just keep one. What else can we throw out? Here. Ah, nothing. If we lose, oh, swap that out. Swap that out. Just in case. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be. Oh, we can leave that there because we don't really. We'll take it with us and we'll put it on the ground outside the main state, the main. There's just one thing I want to show you about starting off getting into climbing all this stuff. The easiest way to get the two shulkers at the door. So if we just end the barrel straight down there. So we are at the back. Right, so the shulkers are around this corner here. Doorway. Just there, right? So if you come to this back corner and take out these two blocks, jump up, you can come to here, like this guy, and then you can switch over to this side, and you can get that guy. There's, oh. So I just wanted to show you that because that's a really easy way of getting into the end city, so you can get in and kill the two guys at the start. Really, really easy. Now we can just look at this guy and not care. He didn't even care. Go on, kill me. Go on. Here we go. Respawn. Where did we respawn? Oh, where did we respawn? Stuck. Where am I stuck? Can't move. Oh, there we go. Just a bit of a glitch. Right, so we've ended up back here at our hold down. So now we've got to make our way back to 4,000 by minus 1,200. That's that way. So it is this way. So we might bread for the journey. Back over here a second. There. Take some more bread for the journey and we'll take that bed. Shouldn't need to fight anything. That's going the wrong direction. That's now going in the correct direction. Right, so now all we gotta do is get back to our home base. The elytra on. And we have successfully completed our mission for the series. Now, I will admit it did take a little bit longer than I was expecting, but that was mainly because of our unfortunate death loop that lasted 3 hours, pretty much, maybe a little bit longer than 3 hours, where we just kept getting battered in the nether. However, we broke free of our death loop, we overcome the odds, and we got exactly what we needed to get done. We did get an elytra without killing the Ender Dragon. To prove that it could be done. And the easiest way to find the stronghold once you get in the correct area, so once your Eye of Ender drops to the ground immediately upon throwing it, then all you need to do is go to the bell and go either directly underneath the bell, or if the bell is up on a well, then go just beside it, but in on the land side of it rather than the watery side of it. And we are going in the we're going in the right direction. No, we're not going right. That's minus 1200 by 2000. Oh, 4000. I don't know what the hell happened there. You go to minus 200, minus 1200, not plus. I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was heading for the wrong directions again. I think I was going for 4000 and minus 1200, which will be completely wrong. Again. And again, just so you know, polar bears won't attack you if you've got an empty hand or you don't have any tools or weapons in your hand. So you can have bread in your hand, you can have your bed in your hand, anything like that is fine, but if you have a weapon or a tool, then they will attack, and more so if they have a baby with them. So, and they will follow you off the ice if they think you're a threat. They will follow you and they'll hunt you down. So just be aware of that. So all in all, this has been quite a successful little foray into Cliffs and Caves update, snapshot, whatever it's called. Don't know what it's called. I don't really care. It's not the full version. It's not the full release. But hey, go and check this out. Test it out. See what you think. Version. Have a play around with the mechanics. Have a play around with the new blocks. Have a look at what's coming, kind of thing. The powdered snow is a bit of a worry, especially high up in the mountains. Mainly because you sink down into it and you can't get out of it. Unless you break it, and you freeze to death very quickly, and you've got to make sure that you're either break it very, very quickly, or you are going to die. And if you are going to play around with it, make sure you know where you are. The amount of trouble that I had because in that moment where you're trying to free yourself, you don't pay attention to coordinates. And I'm incredibly lucky that I had video footage that I could go back and look at, even though not necessarily on the snow bit, but definitely in the nether bit, where we got into the death cycle. It was very beneficial to be able to go back and look at footage and see exactly where I actually went and how I got. And that helped me get my stuff back, because I think I would still be looking for that fortress again if I didn't have the video footage to go back and look at. Also, the unfortunate positioning of the USB camera covered all the coordinates in the video, so I couldn't just pull it up and go and look at the coordinates. I had to actually go back and watch the footage and see exactly where I went, whether I turned left here or went down here or up there or whatnot. He's a floating dog. So it is something to be aware of if you are playing by yourself and you're not recording. I'm unfortunate enough to be able to do. But if I was playing on a world where I wasn't recording, then I would have been absolutely stuck. See a village just there. Might be able to get to it just before night time. Just about night time now. No, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to be able to get to it before it actually turns to full night time. Oh, yes, I will. Ooh. Long way to get to that door, didn't I? He seems to be sleeping quite soundly in there. He didn't even hear me come in. Oh. Well, now we can continue on our journey. Just that way. Have to do a little bit of a detour around this mountain. We're not far away from home. And at least this time I know where home is. So. You would think that the first thing you do in a world is learn the coordinates of where your base is. But anyway, we eventually found it. Oh no, snow! Alright, we've got to get through this snowy mountain, haven't we? Maybe we go around. It'll take a little bit longer. Don't want to. These rivers are fantastic now, the way they go down so deep like that. Oh, ruined portal. Another one. Oh, well, I'll take it. So we're going back up in the positive and the X, but only till we get around this mountain, and then we'll swing back around. So we're heading in the right direction. out now. And it looks like we have no choice but to go over. So if you've enjoyed this series, please let me know, because I'd like to do more of these. I started off my channel doing challenges, where I jumped in hardcore, so as soon as you die you're dead, that's it, it's over, game over. But this has been so much fun, even the death loops, even the you know, losing some stuff. That we would never get out of that dead cycle. It was still fun, you know what I mean? Like a Let's Play world is great because you're doing things for the long term, and you're building farms, and you're building, you know, these things that are going to make your life easier and stuff. Where this, it's purely get what you need to get and get the job done. We could have probably done it without even doing half the enchanting that we did. And we didn't do that much enchanting anyway. We did a couple of mending books and a silk touch book and a couple of unbreaking books, and that was it. So we could probably do this again and probably do it again faster. Which could be a thing. Wouldn't want to do this exact, yeah, but the deal would be maybe getting a elytra and 10 shovels, or getting an elytra and get shovels of every colour. So we've done the wall, we got one of every colour wall in rings. Challenges that I done early on my channel. We could do the same thing with shulker books. We could go get an elytra, get every colour shulker books. We could go get an elytra, kill the dragon using with the aid of the elytra. You have to use the elytra, so you have to get rockets. That could very well be another interesting. Sun's about to go down and we're at 700 blocks. Do we risk it? believe less than 200 blocks from home. Wood. Food. That is my home right there. Oh. Well, if he had killed me there, that would have been so horrific. Because I would have ended up back at spawn chunks, which would be thousands of kilometers. Let's have a bit of a sleep. Got 6 gunpowder in there. 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 Nothing there. Doesn't matter. We can make ourselves alien rockets. Got that. We can put that on. And we can fly. So ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this season. I hope you've enjoyed laughing at my disasters. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something of value from it. If you've liked this, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Remember, you can now buy me a coffee, although it won't go towards buying me a coffee, it'll go towards buying Mr. Hilton, who you met during this season. They'll go to buying him some seeds and some apples. And if you're part of the first 100 subscribers to my channel, let me know and I'll put you in the draw for that HDMI capture card. This has been fantastic and I'll see you back on season 2 in the very near future. Have yourself a fantastic day and bye now.